Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back, and after a very successful week 4 where we smashed for easy cash going 4-0 in our bets, we are back with the week 5 college football lines and predictions, so stick around. I know you guys love this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get this channel out to as many people as possible. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is going to be Monday through Friday, because I'm never slacking. Now, let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little.
So we got a different format this week. Usually I give you guys 4 locks, but I didn't really like 4 games this week. I kind of liked 3 as locks, and then there was 3 that I was kind of iffy on, and I didn't want to give you guys one over the other. So we're going to give you guys 3 really good plays off the top, and then we're going to sprinkle in 3 bonus plays at the end of the video. So our first game of the week, we're going to be hitting FAU at home versus FIU in the Shula Bowl rivalry, where FAU is getting 10.5 points as the favorite, and I believe that this line could move further towards 14 as the week goes on, so try to lock this in quick. This is a rivalry game that FAU has won and dominated most of the time in recent years, the last loss coming in 2016 on the road. FAU has the better offense and defense and talent, prospects, recruiting, facilities, stadium, pretty much everything for FAU is better. So I expect a solid crowd advantage for FAU and an intense focus after getting smacked on the road at Air Force. This really should be a 14-point line minimum. Like I said, FIU is coming off a loss versus a mediocre Central Michigan team. They struggle to run, and FAU really struggles to stop the run, giving up the 3rd most rushing yards in the FBS. So really, FAU should be able to run and pass all over FIU with superior talent, like I said, but I will actually give the coaching nod to FIU, as Taggart has really struggled, in my opinion, with not only play calling, but clock management in the first quarter of every game at FAU so far this year. They have been extremely slow to move the ball. I think he needs a fast start versus FIU, and then they should be able to stop them, use the crowd and the momentum, control the game script with better running, and honestly, the better passing game as well if Kosi bounces back from a horrendous game. But a huge step down in competition, home crowd advantage, back in SoFlo, where you're at sea level again, week of practice versus a real offense, no triple pitch garbage this time. Give me FAU by at least 17 to 20 points. Go Owls here. FSU minus 4.5 versus Syracuse. You ready? They're at home. All right, versus the Syracuse Orange. They're getting 4.5 points on the road versus the worst team in the ACC. I'm going to have to leave it at that, guys. Give me the Orange plus 4.5. This team can beat Syracuse. Don't get me wrong. FSU could beat Syracuse. If you think I don't know the level of talent at FSU, you're sadly mistaken. I know. I'm actually a Miami fan, so we get to play them every year. They have insane athletes all across the board. I understand that. But even with this talent, the program has not been able to translate that versus literally any opponent of any level. FCS, ACC, in the middle of the pack, kind of. I'm actually picking FSU to win the game, okay? 28-27. I think it's going to be very close. It could come down to like a last drive type of situation where Syracuse is winning, and then basically FSU comes out and scores a touchdown with no time left to win the game, okay? But Syracuse is going to cover that 4.5 spread, because even if FSU was to win by a field goal, which I think is best case scenario for them, it's just not going to happen. So Syracuse's only loss comes versus Rutgers, who is no scrub. In fact, they were within a few plays of possibly beating Michigan last week on the road and gaining a top 20 position. So they also beat Liberty, who was a borderline top 25 team as well. Just give me the Orange in this game for sure, plus the 4.5. Okay, speaking of Liberty, who is at UAB minus 1.5. Okay, UAB getting 1.5 points as the favorite. Liberty is coming off of a heartbreaking loss versus Syracuse, okay? It's like all these teams are jumbled together here, but I just mentioned, really neither of these teams are piss poor whatsoever. They are both one loss away from being unbeaten and top 25 certified less than 5 weeks into the season. And I'm not hating on UAB, who has played a solid game versus Tulane, 28-21 win and taking care of business versus lesser opponents, but Liberty is still better than Tulane, in my opinion. And when they played Georgia, it was a really, really bad result as expected. So Liberty is not Georgia, but they do have an incredible quarterback in Malik Willis and a defense holding teams to 15 points a game as opposed to an offense scoring 33.8. So they definitely have a nice point differential there. I think this game could be close if UAB can get a large crowd, the momentum, good start, making it a good game early. But not only do I think that Liberty will pull away as the game goes on, but I think they're going to win by at least 10. They've got the better offense. I think Liberty on the road here is a solid pick. Go Flames. Now, we've got the 3 locks out of the way. Those are my teams that I think are solid locks. The 3 bonus plays, Arkansas plus 18.5 at Georgia. Sprinkle that in lightly. It's a noon game. Both these teams are undefeated with everything on the line. Arkansas may be fraudulent, but they have beaten their true tests in Texas A&M and Texas. So this is another step up from those games by a decent bit in competition, but I think that they can stop Georgia at times, okay? They will struggle versus the defense that Georgia has, only giving up 5.8 points a game. That does scare me, but they don't have to put up much, maybe 17 to 24, and they can lose, let's say, 38 to 21 for a close cover. That's all I'm saying about this. If they can keep it close early, you'll definitely cover, but sprinkle it in lightly. I like Texas A&M versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State is a +7 underdog on the road at Texas A&M. I do not believe in Mississippi State and this coaching staff. Close wins at home versus Louisiana Tech and NC State show that they are not competing with the top 15 teams. And Texas A&M may have lost to Arkansas, but that game was close. And Arkansas, like I said, they're not a bad team, and they're going to prove their worth this weekend versus Georgia. Texas A&M should bounce back in this one. Give me A&M -7. And then the final game I have is UTSA -21 at home versus UNLV. UTSA, honestly, this year, in my opinion, could be the best Conference USA team. They have one of the best RB QB combos in Conference USA and a great home crowd. That to me spells trouble for an 0-4 UNLV team that gave up 35 to an FCS Eastern Washington and is giving up over 170 yards per game on the ground. Sincere McCormick, the running back for UTSA, might have over 100 rushing yards by halftime and 3 touchdowns. This could get ugly. It's a decently large spread, I understand that, but they're the way better team and they're at home. UNLV did give a Fresno State team a run for their money last week, only to lose late. I think this will be much different. Give me UTSA here, but really, guys, sprinkle in these last bonus plays lightly, okay? The first 3 I really like, okay? So go back if you have to review those, but the first 3 is what I really like. The last 3 are kind of more of like bonus plays. Maybe if you wanted to play these as a parlay with a little bit of money on the side, you do that. But if you wanted to go volume, you can play all of these. It's up to you guys. Pick and choose. You know I'm here to help you guys in the comments. And as always, guys, have a fantastic day. Peace.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little